So a couple years ago, I bought a raspberry bush just from a local greenhouse here in my town and planted it. Planted it in just I don't know, a small to mid-sized container. And it was growing, but it wasn't really thriving. And this year I mentioned it to my sister and she said, I wonder if it's root bound and maybe it just needs to be in a bigger container. So in April, my husband and I transplanted that raspberry bush into a bigger container, and since we have done that, it has been thriving and it's growing so well. We hadn't received any fruit off of it. However, most plants, like raspberry plants, you will not receive any fruit off of that plant for the first couple of years, so I wasn't expecting to get any fruit off of it. But this year I am so excited because now that this plant is really thriving, we are finally getting some flower buds on it, and it's just fun to watch it grow. So here's how my plant is looking. Before, it was a lot smaller and it wasn't as vibrant and green, and within the last couple weeks I've noticed that we're starting to get buds on them as well. And I've just been trying to kind of educate myself on these. These are just your standard raspberries. I do not know if these are the everbearing, which means that you'll get fruit both in the summertime and in the fall, or if it's just a summer bearing. So I guess we'll find out as it produces fruit. But on each of these, we should be hopefully getting a raspberry. I've learned that it's not just like a single flower. It's a lot of, I believe they're called pistils, that create this flower, and they have to each be pollinated in order to create the raspberry. And the nice thing about raspberries, which most berries are this way, I think all of them probably are, but unlike fruit trees, they don't need a pollinator. So you can have one raspberry bush and you're good to go. But hopefully this plant will do really well, and then maybe we will plant another one. We did end up buying some more raspberry plants. So we also have 2 raspberry plants that are thornless that we planted from root that we purchased on Amazon, and they're still kind of struggling a little bit. I'm really hoping that they will eventually take off and do their thing, but I am just really excited to see this plant just really thriving and doing well. So just, I guess, a tip to anyone who was struggling like I was: look at your plant, and if you feel like maybe your container's not big enough, and I might even have to transplant this one again into an even bigger container as it continues to grow. But if it's struggling and it's not really thriving, it might be root bound and it might just need to be in a bigger pot. And by doing so, you might get a beautiful bush like this one that hopefully is going to continue to thrive. I should, when this is a totally full mature raspberry plant, I should get 1 to 2 quarts of raspberries off of this. And I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know how many raspberries that is, but hopefully it will be a lot. And I'm just really excited about my plant. I'm still new to gardening. I'm new to learning about how to care for my plants. And gardening can be kind of hard. And sometimes I don't give myself enough time to really learn about things. And so I'm grateful to have my sister and my mom that I can turn to and ask them questions. So, turn to the internet, turn to those that you know to give you advice on how to grow things. It's okay to have to ask questions. But I think there's something just so wonderful about feeling that the way of, that we've planted something ourselves and that we've grown something ourselves that our children and our families can eat. So go out and look at your plants and really analyze them and see how they're doing. And if you need to, transplant them. Plant them into a bigger pot, and hopefully that will make them just thrive and really grow. Also, if you have any tips, feel free to drop them in the comments. It might be a tip about how to prune them, to care for them at the end of the season, what fertilizer that you love best, anything like that. I'm all for knowledge and growing and helping each other, because I think it's so special to just grow our own things. I wish I was better at it, and I hope that someday I will be. We're just starting out. We have just this teeny tiny garden, and so this is all very new for me. But I wanted to share my little bit of success with you guys because I'm excited about it, and I hope that you guys can be excited about something that you're growing as well.